Hi guys, so welcome to the last part of my bookshelf tour. And today we're going to look at just a couple books in these brown shelves, and then mostly these black shelves hiding on the left of my big black bookshelf. Okay, so yeah, I only own black bookshelves, but I do have some books in these shelves that are my mum's actually, just because they were in there initially and I just don't have space in mine, so I just kept them there. So yeah, for example, all of my manga, not a lot, but it is a small collection. So we have some warrior cats, some horror stuff, and behind there all of my chi cat collection. Very cute manga if you like cats. And below that are actually all of my warrior cats books that I read when I was younger. Thoroughly enjoyed them, but I stopped reading the series after some time because there are just way too many books and they are way too similar after some time. So yeah, I just stopped. But the first 1 or 2 seasons I could really recommend. But yeah, you don't really have to read all of them, unless you're a very big fan, of course. So yeah, and below that are some more children's books. I haven't read all of them, but most of them. And yeah, some more warrior cats books that didn't fit. And then I also have a couple more Alice in Wonderland books, which are just too big, or I didn't want to put them in a second row in my Alice in Wonderland shelf. So these are not mine, except for the plushies, but I don't own these books. And then the last books are the Walking Dead comics, all of the compendiums. There are 4. This is the 4th one. Yeah, really love the series, but yeah, I just don't have space, so I keep them there. Okay, moving on to the actual shelves. This is how they look like. Yeah, I have one empty shelf just to have some space for more books that would fit in here. And yeah, let's just start with this small one. Okay, so starting from the top again, the whole shelf is just organized by genre per section. So these are some mythology books. I haven't read a single book in this whole shelf. So yeah, just mythology books that I haven't read. A lot of Trojan War stuff, but also some other things. So I've heard great things about all of these books, and I'm really excited to dive into them, but I do need breaks from time to time because I can't read about the same topic over and over and over again. So for example, the pink book, Lovely War, is actually really interesting because it's told from the perspective of the gods. I think Venus and Eris or something. And yeah, it's set in World War II or World War I, and they are betting on will love conquer or will war. So yeah, that's really interesting. The others are set in antiquity, I think. And yeah, so the decoration are some chess pieces. These are meant to be bookends, but I don't really have them in use right now, but that could change in the future. And yeah, just a postcard I got from a friend, and I just really loved it, so I had to display it. Moving down, these are some science fiction books. Again, haven't read them. Mostly excited about these 3 short books right here. The Heavens and the one by Becky Chambers, because I've heard great things again, especially about Becky Chambers. The Heavens not so much, but I just love the cover and the premise, because it's a time travel story and I often enjoy those. Yeah, what else do we have here? The sequel to Ready Player One. I'm also really excited for Hyperion, because someone compared it to Jeff Vandermeer, and again, I'm a sucker for anything that is similar to any Jeff Vandermeer stuff. So yeah, I hope they are good. And then the decoration, I have these little Disney figures that keep falling down while I'm talking. And then obviously Vincent van Gogh over here with his palette, very cute. So yeah, that's that one. And then I also have this shelf right here, which was initially a horror bookshelf. Some books are still left, but I've read most of the books that were on here, so I had some space and put some more fantasy books on here. Well, let's just say it as it is. I put some Witcher books on here. And then the top book is horror again. So I haven't read The Witcher. I've only seen the show. Really enjoyed that one, and I'm intrigued to find out what the books are about, because I've heard they're quite different and even better than the series, so yeah, I'll see. And yeah, the decorations, some book-related stuff, a Sherlock Holmesy detective girl, and a Shakespeare guy right here. And these are some authors, Bram Stoker and Stephen King, just chilling on here again. So there's another Witcher book below that. I was just too lazy to put it on the other shelf, honestly. And the other books are all fantasy books I haven't read. So mostly series, if not all of them. I think they're all series actually. That's why I own so many fantasy books as well, because most of these books are just series and you have so many books that you have to fit somewhere in your shelves, and it's just not really possible. So book-wise, I'm really excited about the ones on the right. Love that cover. The book has a great cover. I'm just much more hyped about it than Keeper of the Lost Cities. This is the annotated edition, and it also has illustrations, it seems. So really hyped about that one, because so many people love that series. And yeah, I do love me some middle grade books from time to time. And the last book on the shelf is actually a sea-based book again, which is the only reason why I'm excited about it. No idea what they're about, but it says sea in the first sentence right here, so that's why I got it. Let's move down again. These are historical fiction books I haven't read. And the decoration is Harry Potter themed, but these are mostly like villains, darker people. We all know Snape isn't a villain, okay? But he did fit in here. And this amazing crystal ball, it's not real or anything, but it looks so cool. Love it so much. I think I got it just somewhere on Amazon. It's nothing really special, but it looks cool. So yeah, the books I'm really excited about. Lazare, because it's something that I haven't read before. Some German books on here, really thick book I've never grabbed because it's just so intimidating. And then this one right here sounds really interesting because I think it's about Thomas Cromwell, and I've read Hilary Mantel's trilogy. Loved that one, and I hope this one's just a really nice journey again, if you can say anything nice about this time period. It's a really nice spread edge, and yeah. And there's also some more Margaret Atwood on here, and also a classic, Lord of the Flies. Really excited about that one. I mean, it's about boys on an island, and they do interesting stuff, I guess. I don't really know. Oh yeah, and this crystal right here is a clear quartz that I got from Malta when I was there, just as a souvenir to remember it, and because crystals are great decoration. So below that we actually do not have historical fiction, but non-fiction about history, and just some random stuff that didn't fit anywhere, so some more fairy tale stuff, some more fantasy, and also the teddy bear from Mr. Bean, just chilling over here as well. I bought him forever ago, actually, in London, so I just thought that was really fitting, and he still looks very cute on the shelf. A black candle, nothing too special. Then this very large book right here is a Christmas book. I always forget to read it when it's Christmas time, so it's still on my TBR. I think it's just short stories to get you into the Christmas mood. And then the next one, The Poison Heart, which I think is written by the same author who did Cinderella's Dead. I only got it because of that. It should be a retelling of The Secret Garden, loosely based on it, I think. So, yeah. Really excited about that one, because I did enjoy Cinderella's Dead, but I also did expect a very young YA story, so I wasn't disappointed in that regard. Yeah, and then just some more books, also some Alice in Wonderland stuff. So there's that, and then below that is a mass of all kinds of books that didn't fit anywhere else again, and these are all books for buddy reads, so all kinds of genre. Nick Cutter, really excited about that one. Rebel of the Senseless, I'm really excited about it. Jane Eyre I've read before, but I want to reread it in this fancy edition. The first Dune book and the first Wheel of Time book. I've covered these series in the other bookshelf tours. And then these books were behind the stack. So just some more interesting books again, some Atwood, love her books. Seven Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle sounds really interesting. An Emma Donoghue book, Slammerkin, really excited about that one. I've enjoyed most of Emma Donoghue's books now, especially Room. That was really interesting, about this mother and her child who were kidnapped, and it's told from the perspective of the young child. So that was a really interesting writing style. And yeah, just some more books. Lore, heard mixed things about it, still very excited. Magic Steeped in Poison. The lighting is really bad in here, I'm sorry. Hope that's better. The Strange Case of the Alchemist's Daughter. Similarly, very excited about it. Heard great things. It's also a start to a series. And yeah, it just looks beautiful, seems to be beautiful inside. So I'm again very excited about all of the books that I have on my TBR. Would be a shame if it weren't like this. Lore. Beautiful cover. I do not have a special edition, but I still like the original cover very much. And yeah, the Neil Gaiman book. I think that's the only Neil Gaiman book I still own that I have not read. And yeah, well, I like some of his books. Don't like others. Okay, let's just move straight on to the shelf next to it. It's so hard to get an overview of it. I'm sitting on the floor right now. So yeah, it's just a very tight space here. Like, you can barely stand in here. And yeah, that's kind of how it looks. Looks better in person, I promise. So starting from the top as always. Oh, again, these are all unread in this big shelf. And always organized by genre. So we have a lot of books in the bag again that I kind of don't want to pull out right now. Oh, hi. And yeah, these are all mythology books that I need to read. As you can see right here, there's a little reminder if I ever forget what these books are about. So I just got the lamp out of the way so that we can look better at the spines. So yeah, as I said, where is it? The Wolf Den is about a slave girl who I think has to be a whore in Pompeii. Really nice setting, excited to learn more about that. And there's also Ithaca. Wrong book. Very beautiful cover again. Love that one. The Medusa is very special indeed because, as you can see right here, it is illustrated. And it's not just tiny pictures here and there. No, it's actually illustrated. Like, the naked hardcover says it all, I think. Should be a rather quick read because there's not too much stuff on a page. Yeah, just illustrations everywhere. I think it just retells the story about Perseus and Medusa and Athena, of course. Yeah, I'll see if there are any changes in the story. There probably are, or just a different focus. So yeah, really excited about that one. Okay, then next to it is Dante's Divine Comedy. Never read it. Clytemnestra, and just some more interesting books. I don't know if this is actually mythology based, but I think it is. So some Asian stuff, and this is about, what are they called? Like Greek myths, these mermaid creatures. That's what these books are about. The naiads, right? These naiads, no idea what they're pronounced in English. But yeah, these are all of the books. Touch of Darkness. Oh jeez, so many books I still have to read. Let's get the lamp in there. It's one of my favorite shelves actually, even though they are unread. Because they just look so aesthetically pleasing. Love them. Okay, let's move on. Enough gushing. So these are fairy tale books. For some reason I have Stephen King's fairy tale on here because the title just fits. But I mean, it's not really a cozy fairy tale book, is it? Again, I haven't read it, so I don't know. But I don't think it will be. So yeah, a lot of retellings, a lot of darkness right here that just doesn't want us to show books on there. Well, I promise these are fairy tale books. And a lot of Funko Pops, which just fit into the theme. A bell cup, just some dried roses next to it. And yeah. Again, a Pullman book about fairy tales, some Alice in Wonderland stuff, some sea-based stuff, you get it now, okay? I do have solar vibes everywhere. Arabian Nights, really interested in that one, but again, it's super thick, so I don't know when I'll get to it. It's just so pretty. but I have to read it because so many things are based on these stories. Eventually I'll get there. So nothing much to say about these books, I think. That's just how they look. Oh, there's actually Gilded by Marissa Meyer. I love Marissa Meyer's books. So I'm really excited to read that one. Yeah, I'm not really seeing these shelves often, so even I'm surprised by what books are on here. And then below that are some messy shelves. These are, as you can see, random books that didn't fit anywhere else. So we have a lot of classics on here, some literary fiction, maybe some mystery stuff, magical realism, even some romance stuff, I think, by J. Howard, because I don't have a lot of these books. And yeah, just some plain thrillers, reality show. Don't have a lot of these books as well, so they don't have a category for themselves. Emma Donoghue, The Idiot, some Penguin classics. I think there's also a Russian classic on there. Canterbury Tales is on there, and just Queen's Gambit on the top that you can see, but I can promise you it's there. I've seen the show of the Queen's Gambit when it came out, really loved it, and I'm excited to see what the book is actually like. And then these books were also behind that, just standing there, the Bona. And then this one, again a thriller, but it's Asian, so sounds really interesting. I typically don't like thrillers too much because they just read boring and similar to me. But yeah, sometimes I do quite enjoy them. Yeah, that's what's behind the big candle. Melmoth, excited about it. Can't really stress it enough, but I do feel excited about most of these books. The decoration. Some Coraline on here, and Alice, which I should put in my Alice in Wonderland collection now that I'm seeing it here. Well, it can stay for now. And behind her is actually a David Mitchell book. I've only read Cloud Atlas by him, and that was a really exhausting read for someone who doesn't really speak in English. Like, it's not my first language, as you might have noticed, because I do make some mistakes when speaking. And yeah, the writing style is rather difficult. I had some knowledge before I've delved into the book, because I've watched the movie Cloud Atlas, so I knew kind of what happened and how it's all structured, but yeah, it was really difficult anyway. So I'm just a little bit scared about the Bone Clocks by him, because I don't know anything about it. So this is going to be interesting, but I am excited, just a little scared. Miami Punk heard some great stuff, and yeah, just some more classics on here. What do we have? Virginia Woolf, Miss Dalloway, and Madame Bovary. And then on the top, oh gosh, I read this book in school, hated it. I just wanted to check out if I still hate it many years afterwards. Romeo and Juliet. Why not? Never read it. I've read other Shakespeare books, but never Romeo and Juliet. But everyone basically knows what it's about, so. And Dorian Gray, the Violet book right here. What's on top of that? Oh, it's a very old book that I just found in these public bookshelves, bookcases, whatever they're called. And it just looked interesting. No idea what they're about, but it has a very beautiful spine. That's why I got it. Okay, let's see what's below that. So these are all of my unread horror books. A lot of Stephen King on here still. These are the Halloween editions, love them. And then some more Paul Tremblay, which I enjoy, Grady Hendrix, Brom, a lot of well-known authors. And we also have Wednesday over here playing on her cello. I did like the series, but it had some flaws. But I do love her character, and I do love cello music, so that's just perfect. Yeah, really excited about Brom. He always has the most interesting horror books with very, very cool concepts and beautiful, absolutely beautiful illustrations in there. And then Bedding the Llama is a short story collection about tropical horrors. Really excited about that. And then on the left we have, what is she called? Annabelle, right? The creepy doll from the Conjuring movies. I really love her as a Funko Pop, of course, not as a doll. And then we also have Ellie from The Last of Us. And just a lot of books hiding in the corner again. Let's see if I can film it in any way. Oh yeah, I do have this book sleeve about It by Stephen King, right? These are balloons. Yeah. Beautiful balloons from Pennywise. Love them. Then we have Violet by Scott Thomas. He also wrote Kill Creek. I did enjoy Kill Creek. It wasn't amazing or anything, but it was good for the time being. And this one sounded interesting as well. It's about these imaginary friends that you have would make it horror. And behind that are lots of paperbacks. Why does it get so fucking dark? You can't see anything. I mean, it fits the horror theme, great, but it's not perfect for bookshelf too. So it's Loop, I can't really see it anyway. Some Stephen Graham Jones right here. The Good Indians, heard great things about it, and yeah, just a lot of books. There's also The Cabin in the Woods, which has a movie adaptation, which was really cool. Such a nice plot twist, one of the best plot twists ever in a movie, so I hope the book is just as entertaining, even if I know the twist. I don't care, it was a good twist. I do really want to read about it again. Then Echo, about these mountain expeditions, I think, and something goes wrong. Cloisters, amazing cover again. Love that one, no idea what it's about right now. Another Brom book, perfect for Christmas. Some extreme horror, amazing. Are these short story collections? Oh, it's the wrong way around. Great cover. And it's an anthology, so yeah, short stories for sure. Love me some short stories, especially in the horror genre. They can be very effective. And yeah, what else is on here? Some Dracula based stuff. Not sure what it's about, but I've read a lot of Dracula in the last year for my university. So I think it's going to be interesting to just read something for fun that is based on that story. Then we also have some gothic stuff on here. I don't own a lot of gothic books, but there are some here and there. This is the beautiful anniversary illustrated edition. And yeah, looks stunning. Heard amazing things about it. But yeah, I'll find out if I like it or not. She's a Haunting. Interesting cover right here. Not sure what it's about. Probably ghost stuff, if it's in the title. I don't know. I'll find out. Yeah, so that's the shelf. And below that are some more horror books. one shelf wasn't enough. We've got Edgar Allan Poe right here, the Mantle, and not Narcissa. She's called... How is this possible that I forgot her name? She's one of my favorite characters from the Fantastic Beasts movies, and she's like in there for 3 minutes and never returns. So that says a lot about the movies. What the fuck? She's the fucking snake from Voldemort. Nagini, that's her name. Oh my god. So yeah, a lot of books in the dark that you can see again. Maybe if we remove the sack right here, I don't know. Some more Stephen King. Book of the Living Secrets, really interested by that. It has octopus tentacles on the cover, so that's intriguing. And yeah, just some more books. Christopher Golden book that I just recently got. Really excited about that. And then the one below has a beautiful cover. What We Harvest. So plant-based horror is always my kind of thing, but I don't know if it's going to be amazing because it is YA, and YA horror most of the time isn't that creepy, and I'm here for the creepy stuff. Give me disgusting body horror and all of this kind of stuff, and I'm happy. Okay, let's remove the stack and hope that we will see some of the books behind. Okay, it's kind of better. Kind of still very, very dark. Can't really see all of the paperbacks that go right to the top. So again, some YA horror on here. And this is really interesting short story collection. There's one story by Stephen King in there, I think. And it's all about plane stuff. Airplane stuff. Which to some people is frightening enough to hear or experience it in normal circumstances. But this is actually not normal stuff that happens when you're on a plane, but horror stuff. And yeah, I'm excited to read about it. I'm not frightened by airplane stuff, so I don't think it's going to be a problem for me. Next book, great cover again. Not sure what it's about, but it's Chuck Wendig. Heard great things about the author, and apparently Stephen Graham Jones likes him too. So I think it might be haunted mansion stuff, haunted house stuff, which I typically am not a very big fan of. But if it's done good, it's good. So it just has to be good, Chuck Wendig. Anastasia, great cover. Yeah, a witchy book, as you can see right here. Love me some witches. Some more extreme horror in German. The cover says it all, I believe. Then another really beautiful edition of a gothic novel called The Deathless Girls. It's so pretty. And then Reprieve. I think a lot of people said that it was supposed to be like an escape room stuff, but it really didn't go there when you actually read it. So I'm kind of disappointed about that fact, because I do love escape rooms if they are made creepy. The normal escape rooms are boring. Not a fan of those. Yeah, the movie Escape Room was also good. I love anything like The Cube, Escape Room, Saw. Amazing concepts, and I've never read a book about that. Then there's also the duology. No, it's not a duology. It was a duology, and I think then more books came out or are supposed to come out. Whatever, 9000 Hellbent by Lee Bardugo. These are the Fairy Loot editions, right? Not Illumicrate. I think it's Fairy Loot. I'm not sure. Does it say anywhere? Come on. Be kind to me, book. Tell me where you're from. I don't know. It either doesn't say, or I'm not patient enough to look thoroughly into it. It's some kind of special edition. And they look pretty like that, but they're way more pretty without the dust jacket. That's how they look without the dust jacket. Very, very stunning. So yeah, I'll keep them with the dust jacket on, just so that I can't ruin the design under it, and because I don't know where to put the dust jackets, because if they're somewhere else I will forget them, or they will vanish somehow by magic. Okay, Nagini. Some Josh Malerman short stories with such a beautiful Alice in Wonderland inspired cover. Can't tell me it is not Alice in Wonderland inspired. It certainly is, right? And didn't hear great things about it, actually. I haven't heard a single positive thing about the novellas, but I'm still excited. I mean, I love short stories and novellas, so maybe I can enjoy it. And I do like the Josh Malerman books that I've read so far, which wasn't a lot, frankly. But I did enjoy them, so that's a good thing. And then, no idea what it is about, but it has library in the title. So that's great. Oh, the chill water horror. Great stuff. More water horror. And I've read some books by Jeremy Bates. They're not the best, but they are entertaining. And if you expect an average horror movie from it, I think you can enjoy them. And then, yeah, just black books in the darkness. Really, really thick book over there as well. The Book of Sand. That sounds interesting, because you don't really get to read about desert stuff in horror books. It's a shame, really, because that's really interesting, isn't it? Oh yeah, just some more books that I can't show you. I can show you the Spider Horror Stuff trilogy. I don't know which one is the first book in the trilogy, but these have some spiders in there. And I think it's written from different perspectives, meaning that it's written from different countries. And I really love that kind of concept. World War Z has it as well in the books, not in the movies. And yeah, I just love that. I don't need the same character over and over again. I don't need to connect to a character. I just want to see really interesting original ideas, an interesting world, interesting concepts whatsoever. And yeah, that's just a great way to include some international stuff and not just focusing on one particular country where something happens. Like, include the whole world and let me know what happens everywhere. How are different people dealing with it, and not just one character. Okay, enough rambling, but I really like that concept. And then below that are actually some non-fiction books, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it says right here. Okay, I was right, non-fiction books. And it's so fucking dark, you can't see anything. Great. So there's Rapunzel. Not sure why, but she's painting there and having fun. Candle. And just a lot of non-fiction books. On all kinds of topics, really. So we have dinosaur books over here. I really like dinosaurs. Such a fascinating topic. There's also some history stuff. So on the right, history of slavery. This is a guide to witches, as you can see. History book about painting. What are those? I got them as gifts. Oh yeah, and 80 plants around the world. Plants, great stuff. I like to read about them in horror books, so I think it's going to be interesting to read about them in real life, right? Just to get some knowledge. Even if I forget it a week later, whatever. because I also have some witchy stuff that is about plants. Like, this one's about poison. What else is there? These editions are so pretty, every single one of them. This is about death and the afterlife, just occult stuff, and no idea what these are called in English, like spells and stuff. Come on, get in there. You can do it. Great. So these are very, very pretty editions. What else? Botanic stuff again. More plant things. And then these really, really tiny books. These are also about witch stuff. These are recipes even that you can try out. And yeah, they look really cool. And they're just super tiny. So you can get through them very, very quickly. I hope the content's good as well. Sounds promising from the stuff that I see by flipping through it. So, not too in-depth, not too complex. And then this whole stack, oh boy. Okay, let's see. Yeah, that's the best I could do. They are so heavy. Oh boy. Let's get this out of the way. And then the book on the top is just about literature. So all kinds of books in there. I don't really know. Super thin Bible pages. Oh my god, super tiny font. And yeah, it just says all kinds of short stuff in there. I hope there's some explanations and not just the text itself. Some footnotes at least. I got it for uni, never read it. But maybe one day I will. I don't know. So some more books that would fit right into this category right here. Yep. English history, non-fiction stuff. Some art stuff, and just more and more non-fiction. Rome. What is it about actually? The dark side of Roman history. Yeah. Drugs, murder, obscure stuff, affairs, fights, obsessions. Ooh, sounds interesting. Then some book-related stuff. You've probably seen them on BookTube multiple times. They are just books about books, giving you recommendations, showing you some inspirational stuff, just some essays, I think, yeah, bookstores, and some interesting little fictional maps, kind of. So all kinds of planets from fictional worlds. These are thrown there from time to time. Yeah, just some interesting stuff that you can read from time to time. So we also have a book about some artists, Dürer and Frida Kahlo, and just DK books in general. Really good non-fiction books. Yeah, I think we're done with that one. So below that are only even more non-fiction books, like some really thick ones, some DK stuff, again some American literature in 2 compendiums. They are really thick, and they have Bible pages as well. Then some poetry stuff, and DK again about literature, Shakespeare, and this really thick book just about illnesses of some kind. So yeah, there's pandemics, viruses, whatever in there. Should be chronologically ordered for the most part. It just talks about all kinds of illnesses that you can have or had, like fevers, or what was there, infections, cholera, tuberculosis. Yeah, very in-depth, I believe. Very, very dry, maybe, because there's not a lot of pictures in there. Yeah, I'm excited to read about it. I do love medicine. I wish I could just take some more time and study it in some kind of way, but yeah, it just never happened, and it's okay. I can study it for myself in these kinds of ways, by reading non-fiction or watching documentaries, or by even just watching Grey's Anatomy. You do learn some stuff in there as well. Yeah, then we have some more mythology non-fiction about, I think, wars that happened, and how to interpret art again, I think. Just tells you some facts about some well-known artworks. Yeah, antiquity stuff right here again. Love the cover. Oh, you couldn't even really see it. And then these books I have in my read mythology books as well. Love them. So these are also mostly about art, with design, with architecture, more architecture, and just some artists. I think these are just random artists, oh, female artists. And what else do we have? More artists, contemporary, and another book about Dürer, and a book about art, who would have thought? And the last book is also about architecture. So yeah, a lot of art books, why not? I do love to read about it, to educate myself, of course, but also to just look at more art that I might have never seen before, just to get a reminder about some of the artworks that I've read about before. Okay, so we're done with these two. Great. Just one more shelf to go. One more. And there's even an empty shelf in there, so it should go a little faster. And then we're done. We're done with the bookshelf too after that. So let's get into it. Oh yeah, and before we move on to the next shelf, I also have these illustrated books of The Witcher short stories. Haven't read them again, but these are very pricey, but they are worth every single penny or cent or wherever you come from, because every page has a beautiful illustrations, and these books are really tall. So yeah, just a nice way to read the short stories. Just to show you again, this is the last shelf that we're going through right now. There are a lot of unread books on here, but also some books that I've read, and the whole shelf has only historical fiction in it. Nothing else, just historical fiction. I do love historical fiction, so I need a lot of space. And that's why there's an empty shelf already, so that I can put some more into it. So, on the top here, these are read books, and these are just some random books that I couldn't fit into the category that comes after it, because all of the books below that are ordered by time period. I've seen it on some booktubers channels, could be Riley Marie who did it on her bookshelf, and I just thought, oh my god, great idea, let me do this as well. So here we are. It took a little time to find out when these books actually take place, and yeah, just some books are very, very frustrating if they follow a longer time period and not just 1 year. So I will have some examples about that later. Let's just get into these shelves again. So we have some postcards about people reading. Love these pictures. So kind of the person to send me them. And then there's also a Funko Pop which fits the theme of historical fiction. He's from Alexander Hamilton, I believe. King George, yeah, should be him. So yeah, these books don't fit into these time periods because they don't have one time period in them, or they don't really have any time period. Like, they are just inspired by historical stuff, but they don't have any kind of year in them that could tell you where to put them. So these ones by Gail Carriger are steampunk, so they read like they are from the 1800s or whatever, but they don't really take place in that time period. I love the series very, very much. It's a favorite of mine. I can only recommend them to everyone who loves some steampunk stuff and also YA stuff. So these read a little younger. These are more, what are they called? Smut, essentially, but they follow characters from the series, so it's best to have read the series first. And then she also has series that read much more adult than these ones. But yeah, I love the concept with the steampunk school where girls learn not only about etiquette but also about how to murder people and stuff. It's really, really funny and really interesting. And then these books by Mary Brennan are dragon books. They read like, I don't know, maybe Victorian England, but it's never said when it takes place. I think it's just a fictional world, not based on the real world. It just resembles it in some ways. So yeah, it's about this woman who is researching all kinds of dragons. She does some sketches in there, which you can see in the book as well. And yeah, she travels around the world, discovers all kinds of dragons. And then there's also a historical fiction part in there. Very, very nice combination of things that I enjoyed. And I also love the covers. I mean, they're so pretty. Really love this one as well, about the baby dragons. And yeah, also some other historical fiction books by her on the TBR. Really excited about those. Then we also have Cloud Atlas. Already talked about it earlier. I have this copy. I've read it when I was on Malta in a public library, and then I just had to buy myself a copy. Yeah, and this one takes place in all kinds of time periods. I think it starts in the 1700s, maybe, and then there are 5 perspectives in total, and there are also some perspectives taking place in the future. I really, really love the concept. Some perspectives weren't as interesting, and some writing styles take a lot to get used to them, but I think it's nice, it's unique, and I love historical fiction and science fiction and all this kind of stuff. And again, it's not just about one character, but so much more perspectives, and they're all connected in some way, and it's so cool if you find all of these details that connect them. So yeah, okay, I'll stop gushing about it. If you haven't read it, I highly recommend it if you feel confident in your English skills, or you just read a translation. I mean, come on, you don't have to read the original like I did. I'm just stupid and I wanted to read it in the original language. Yeah, okay, the next one is a Lucinda Riley book. I've only read the first 2 books. I've talked about it. So yeah, these always take place in the present, but also in the past. So you can't really put them anywhere, and they look much better if they're all together and not just all over the place. Okay, let's move down. So in here are read books, historical fiction, chronologically ordered. And the first one, about Jeanne d'Arc, is taking place in the 1400s. And then it just chronologically goes on with some Thomas Cromwell, with Henry VIII in Great Britain. These are about the wives of Henry VIII. You get every single one of them in there and read from her perspective. And yeah, Hilary Mantel, I've already told you. Love the trilogy, all-time favorite. Would reread it again in the future, and I am planning on getting all of these English copies so that I can read it in the original language. And the covers look much better than these German ones. They're a little plain right here, but they were good enough to read the books for the first time. Then we have My Lady Jane. So that was about Lady Jane Grey. And we have some art stuff. Cromwell, great book. Some Ken Follett on here. I started reading some lesser well-known books by him. I haven't read The Pillars of the Earth, but I have it on my TBR. I plan on reading it, but I wanted to start with some standalones because his books are always quite thick. And what else do we have? So we are in the 1800s now. Mermaid book. Quite boring for some people, but I did enjoy it. Then Anatomy and Immortality, all-time favorites, because they feature medicine again. And some more 1800s about Edgar Allan Poe. So if you're interested in him, or if you just enjoy his poetry and don't mind some gothic stuff, then that's a really cool book as well. Just Kid. Didn't really love that book when I read it, so I might have to reread it. Then we come to 1860s with some Ellis stuff, and then some more Ken Follett. This one's really hard, for example, because it takes place in, I think, 3 different times. Like, it moves on, it starts in, I don't know, 1840s maybe, and then moves on to the 1870s in the end, so it's hard to put it in a chronologically ordered bookshelf. And the other Lady Jane book about the Wild West to the next shelf. So all of these books on the left right here are also read books, chronologically ordered. So we get into some more contemporary stuff. So there's gothic novel, Poppy Factory, First World War, so 1900s. Ophi's Ghosts takes place, I think, after the First World War. A really cool haunted house book, which is also a middle grade book. And then we have All the Light We Cannot See, that's Second World War now. This is getting a movie adaptation as well, so I'm really excited for that one. The trailer looked really interesting. And then this one is taking place in the 1960s, very contemporary now. And this is very interesting because it's about all kinds of people on the same train, and they have to decide whether they want to leave the train or ride it until the end, because it's taking place in Germany when the wall was built, and these people can still decide if they want to be in the west or the east of Germany. And so it's written in these different perspectives and how everyone is thinking about it, what they are deciding and why. And it's quite emotional. I can't give any spoilers, but yeah, I did cry at some point. I think the movie adaptation is alright, but if you haven't read the book, I think you don't understand every single decision behind the characters. Then we have Shape of Water. There's also a movie adaptation. Really cool concept. And yeah, the execution is great as well. I really like this book. And the movie adaptation as well. The book was better, again. Then The Immortalists. Not sure when it takes place right now. Oh, 1969. And it's been a few years since I read it, but I think it's about a group of kids who can find out when they die. I think that's what it was about, and then it just follows their lives until the end. I don't really know, but I know that one perspective was about a scientist who is researching some stuff about apes, and that was really interesting. There was also, I think, a perspective of a gay person, if you're into that. That does have some representation. And then the last book is Almost Like You, the most contemporary one in here, but still being historical fiction. So it has two perspectives, which is why I put it in the end, 1968 and also 2016. And yeah, I don't remember much, but I know that I liked it because it was about art in some way, and also Asian immigrants, right? Moving from Manhattan to Berlin, from the Vietnam War to the new millennium. So yeah. It was interesting. It was one of the first books that I've read in English. So I don't know how it compares to now, if I would have read it now. Anyway, let's look at the other books. So this bookend from Harry Potter, it's a chess piece, The Knight, as you can see. I really love it. It's really heavy and looks very, very cool. And yeah, so this bookend actually separates the books that I've read from the books that I haven't read. So every single book now is unread historical fiction. They are not sorted by anything yet, other than just pretty books on here, and then hardcover books, and on the bottom are mostly paperbacks. Just because I felt like it. There's no real reason behind it. And so yeah, these are all of the books. Excited about all of them. With all kinds of stuff on here, and yeah, as I've said, mythology books and also historical fiction books have some of the most beautiful covers ever. They just all look so pretty. I mean, I can't show you all of them, but every single book deserves it on here. They're all pretty. Some more Pompeii stuff. Excited about that. And then the embroidered book as well. It's so pretty. I don't know what to tell you. Rebecca Gablé. Yeah, so I can't really tell you anything about the content. Just pretty historical fiction that I bought. And the moment I buy them, I feel like I forget what they're about. Okay, so these books are, I think, a loosely connected series, but I think you can read them as standalones, I'm not sure. They are all about witchy stuff. I can tell you that much. That's all I know. I guess they are taking place in Great Britain. And yeah. When Women Were Dragons, really interesting as well. Let's take a look, why not? Because I can't say anything about them. Let's at least look at the covers. Gothic stuff. Again, just so beautiful. She Who Became the Sun, some Asian stuff. Taking place, I don't know, antiquity, Middle Ages. Or even not a period at all. Maybe it's just fictional world, I don't know. Philippa Gregory. So we have some Maggie O'Farrell. One of my favorite covers, actually. So pretty. So pretty. Then I also have some special editions of The Little Women and the sequel, Little Men. I think there's also a third book, Little Boys or something, right? I haven't read the books, haven't read the movie as well, so I don't know. But these are really cool editions, also illustrated. love them so much. Poison Bed. And then this one is about the sister of Frankenstein, I believe. So really interesting perspectives. We don't get to know much about her in the original tale by Mary Shelley. So I'm excited to see what this one's about. And then there's also some stuff that makes it a fiction book that the author imagined that didn't ever happen in the original tale, I believe. And just a beautiful book. I have it on my TBR for years now, never picked it up. Yeah, I will eventually. I'm excited. I don't know why I don't pick it up, but the universe doesn't want me to, I guess. Then The Shape of Darkness, Laura Purcell, really great author as well. Cunning Woman. Then a Mona Lisa book, which is, again, just so pretty. More witchy stuff right here. Maiden. More gothic, I think. And then just moving down there. Even more books. Yeah, don't know what to say. Some Jessie Burton again, who wrote this Medusa book I talked about. Some more German books. Oh, this one is interesting as well because it's based on religion. I don't have many books on that topic. I think I don't really have any knowledge about it either. Is this the wife of Jesus or something? I don't know. Kind of feel bad that I don't know much about it, but I never learned about it anyway. So yeah, there's that. Some Russian stuff, which is exciting. These, why are these in here? Are they historical fiction? Well, there might be. They might be. These are part of a short story collection series. Okay, so Throughout the Ages. Okay, sounds like it's historical fiction, so I did everything right. And these books in the series have one of the most beautiful covers, for sure. But the one I've read wasn't really good, so I unhauled it. I hope this one's going to be better. They just read a little too young for my taste and didn't really have a interesting plot. So yeah, we'll see how they will be. Strike the Sitter, more Asian stuff that I'm excited about. And then for some reason I also have The Great Gatsby on here, which isn't historical fiction, is it? It should be on the classics shelf. Well, now it's here, whatever. And then yeah, just some Alison Weir books. And the Maniscalco series, which could be something that I would enjoy because I think they are similar to Anatomy, a Love Story by Dana Schwartz. It could be interesting. Yeah, not much else to say about that shelf. Book by Owen King. I don't even know if it's historical fiction right now. Doesn't seem like it is, but maybe it is. Has cats on the cover. I don't know what else to tell you. And yeah, what's also here? The Dance Tree. Really cool cover. And I think it's about a woman that starts dancing just randomly, and then people start to join her and they just don't stop dancing. And apparently this actually happened because of a heat wave or something. I don't know, it sounds really weird, but could be interesting, who knows. I'll have to find out. And then the last shelf, Guy Gabriel Kay, heard great things about the author. A Poe book, and then also more anatomy stuff. Not sure what that's about. It feels like I've seen this for the first time right now. So Here's the synopsis. 1600s. Surgeon's Guild. Oh, it's about Nicholas Tulp. Oh, that's interesting. If you don't know that person, that's not going to excite you as much as I was excited right now. He has to do with art in some kind of way, so that's why I was intrigued right now. Okay, I just quickly changed the angle, and we have some more books to get through. More contemporary one, Lessons in Chemistry. This is the Waterstones edition, I believe. Love that cover. And chemistry is great. I think it's also about feminism, about this woman who has a cooking show, but she is also into chemistry. I don't really know. It's been so hyped up that I just bought it, and I don't really know what it's about. Yeah. Laura Purcell again. More Laura Purcell. And more Laura Purcell. What else do we have here? I don't know what all of these books are about. Some more Lucinda Riley. And then this is a trilogy again. I think it's middle grade. And I even think it's time travel. So, not a great book to put on the chronologically ordered bookshelf. And then these two books I got from a friend as well. And they sound interesting as well. They're Asian and historical fiction, which is always very, very interesting. So yeah, we actually did it. We're done. And I do apologize for these weird angles and for the light issues. If you couldn't see everything that's on here, I'm sorry. But I hope that you got some kind of overview of all of the books in my room. So, hope you liked all the bookshelf tour parts, and I wish you a great day and happy reading as always. Bye!